Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Youier podcast. I am your host, Elle Edwards, and I'm excited to share this next episode with you. We're going to jump straight in today. It's called How to Click Whir Your Way to a Youier You. The latte is brewed. I'm sat in my regular writing spot and I'm ready to go. Words pour off my fingers effortlessly, and the usual distractions totally lose their pull. The sun is shining, so I have the windows open, and the smell of outdoors is gorgeous. The idea of routine isn't new. Even the most free-spirited of us actually needs some stability. Human needs, remember? I also love flexibility. Not the tuck your legs behind your ears kind. Stop laughing. And that I can pretty much do what I want, when I want, on most days of the week. Yesterday, for example, I stayed in my PJs until a little after 11 a.m. And no, I'm not lazy. I'd been up working since 6:10. I just got busy and didn't get around to it until a little later. But honestly, I much prefer being up, showered and dressed by 7 a.m. It feels right and proper. And without it, my whole day can quickly fall apart and I get nothing done. And it was while I was in the shower that I remembered something I read ages ago about writing routines. I got to thinking about how that might work towards you showing up, all in. But first, I had to test the theory, hence the coffee and the writing spot and the open windows. Because yesterday was one of those days that, on paper at least, should have gone totally to pot. None of my usual routines happened. I wasn't up and dressed by 7 a.m. I didn't take the kids to school. They didn't take themselves, I might add, it's the holidays. And I didn't write 1,000 words before 11 a.m. A perfect day then to test the click-whir idea. Because click-whir, in terms of writing routines at least, says that if you have set patterns of behaviour in place in the lead up to writing, it helps your mind to know what's coming next, and click-whir, you write and it feels easy. And yes, I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically the idea. Since reading about that, I've been considering my writing click-whirs a little bit, and the only routine I really have is the coffee and writing seat combo. Yes, if the sun is shining, then the windows need to be open, but it's hardly a routine set in stone. But maybe your click-whir doesn't need to be ironclad. Maybe it's enough just to have some basic preparations in place. So I put the coffee pot on, warmed and frothed my milk, bunged some plates in the dishwasher while I waited, because part of my usual 9 a.m. routine is putting the breakfast stuff away. And then, armed with coffee, I took myself to my desk. And you know what? It worked. Click-whir did its thing, and it's like it's 9 a.m. again, except that my tummy just started grumbling, because it really cannot be fooled. And here's where it gets really interesting. What if that same click-whir idea could be applied to other stuff? Think about you at your most vibrant, the you on a good day made in the image of God you. What do you look like and act like when you feel most alive? Who are you with? What are you thinking, feeling, doing? What happens in the lead up to that moment? Just like how a homemade latte in a certain seat acts as the prequel to undistracted writing for me, there will be things that lead up to you being Youier. And sure, some of those things might not be so helpful. Most of us probably have habits which don't serve us well. But if you give yourself time and keep your eyes open and ask Holy Spirit to help you, you will start to see some patterns. Want to hear some even better news? Even if I'm wrong and you don't have any click-whir patterns that lead to you being Youier just yet, you can create some. And you get to choose what they are, which is rather cool because imagine if the click-whir had to involve eating peas. Ugh. All it takes is for you to set a predictable pattern of behaviour, one after the other, the same every time, with those ending with you being Youier. And before you know it, your clever mind will kick in and help you out, without you even needing to give it a second thought. Neat, eh? All that assumes that you know what you being you most looks like, of course. Go back to the questions in episode 3 if you need to. The clues come out dancing at those times when you're at your most relaxed. Maybe you're around people who know you well, or people who have known you the longest. For some people, these friends and family members bring out the most you self. Others just clam up around these people, of course. If that's you, then hey, don't go there. The trick is to look out for you at your most expressed. Keep a diary and literally write down the circumstances around that moment. Patterns will emerge. Which leads me to your challenge for today, if you choose to accept it. Armed with your trusty notebook, take a look at those routines and habits you have around you being all in. What can you do to further cement those click-whirs? And if you don't yet have any, what healthy, empowering, helpful habits would you like to create? And remember, you don't have to do this alone. God knows you, made you. Ask Him to help you. Teacher, counselor, helper, and guide. Holy Spirit loves to explore this with you. And here's your love note for today. Be strong and courageous. Live my love out loud. Your joy brings salvation to the nations and to your household. Trust me, I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm going ahead of you, preparing the way, and it is glorious. Papa, Jesus, and Sam.